doing something pretty wild. We are visually bridging two completely different worlds. On one side, you've got the glowing, pixelated UI of our modern smartphones, and on the other, ancient, weathered text written literally thousands of years ago. It's a striking conceptual leap made by the author of our source text, blending the everyday tech we completely take for granted with some really deep theological reflections on gratitude. We're going to unpack exactly how a rigid piece of software code inspired a deep dive into an ancient promise. Let's get into it.
So let's jump right in with the exact question the author uses to hook us. They ask, does a mobile app have consciousness? Now, honestly, it sounds a little absurd at first, right? But it forces us to actually pause and visualize the background functions of our devices. I mean, you probably use dozens of apps a day, but do you ever stop to consider how they actually know what to do? The source author poses this to get us thinking about awareness, consistency, and the invisible rules that govern the digital environments we're staring at every single day.
To really build out this metaphor, the author points to a digital experience literally all of us know. Picture the UI on your phone right now. You hit a limit, 3 chances remaining flashes on the screen, and suddenly, bam, you hit a brick wall. The app locks you out. It absolutely will not let you back in until the cycle resets. We've all been there, whether it's a daily puzzle, keeping a language learning streak alive, or hitting a freemium game limit. The app is rigid, it's uncompromising, but it's also entirely predictable.
Right, and that brings us to midnight. Exactly at 12 a.m., the author notes that the app's internal monitoring mechanism silently triggers. It faithfully renews your access, granting a fresh set of chances for a brand new day. The author really marvels at this setup. Like, how does the app know it's midnight? How does it maintain this flawless, consistent monitoring loop to restore your access the literal second the clock strikes 12? This simple piece of human-made code operates with total, unquestioning faithfulness.
Now here's where the source makes a massive, dramatic pivot. Watching this perfectly visualized digital reset drop this crazy idea into the author's spirit, reminding them of the ancient words found in the book of Lamentations. The text reads, "It is of the Lord's mercies that we are not consumed, because his compassions fail not. They are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness." The author realized that, just like that app renewing itself at the stroke of midnight, this ancient text claims that divine mercy and compassion operate on an unfailing daily renewal cycle.
Real quick, before we push further into this comparison, the source grounds us in the actual context of that scripture. The very name Lamentations indicates a state of mourning. The source points out that the original authors were actively lamenting, enduring a remarkably dark period in history. Yet, and this is key, right in the middle of that sorrow, they still found this one unshakable reason to hope. The contrast here is just fascinating. Out of deep despair comes this shining realization of a daily, unfailing renewal of mercy.
So this brings us to the core framework, the real picture the author is painting for us. On one side, we've got the cold, hard, visual code of a human-made app. Programmers wrote the code, set the parameters, and created a system that flawlessly resets itself every single day to receive our commands. On the other side, we have the warmth of divine mercy, which the ancient text promises is also renewed every single morning. The author is drawing a straight, logical line here. We trust the human code to reset at midnight without a second thought.
And this all boils down to one incredibly bold challenge from the text. If human beings have been able to make an app that is able to renew itself, do you think it is a lie that God's mercies are renewed every day? It's a super compelling rhetorical question. The author is taking our absolute, unquestioning faith in modern technology and using it to challenge our doubts about divine faithfulness. I mean, if a simple piece of software can be programmed to be perfectly reliable to you every morning, why in the world would it be difficult to believe that the creator of the universe is capable of the same consistent renewal?
The author actually extends this tech metaphor in such a clever way. Just visualize the basic connectivity sequence on your screen that we've all done a million times. Step 1, you open an app without any mobile data, and it just sits there, totally dormant, useless. Step 2, you connect to Wi-Fi. Instantly, the app wakes up and responds. Step 3, access is granted and the information flows. The app only works when it connects to the network it was expressly designed to communicate with.
Taking that exact visual sequence, the author drops this incredibly striking statement. Every day responds to a new call. Think about that for a second. Just like your phone app sits dormant until it catches the Wi-Fi signal, the author suggests that time itself, every single day, responds faithfully to a new divine call. The universe isn't just randomly ticking by in the background. According to the source, it is actively responding to the command of renewal, waking up to a fresh signal every morning.
Which brings us to a moment where the author actually asks us to stop, pause, and deeply reflect. Do you think God is not faithful enough to take care of you every day? The source material really shifts gears here. We're moving from a cool philosophical metaphor about apps and time into an intensely personal reality check. If the mechanism of the universe is designed for this daily renewal, the author asks us to confront our own anxieties. Basically, why do we worry? Why do we ever doubt that we're being taken care of?
To really drive this home, the author hits us with some blunt, grounding reality checks. The first one is tough, but necessary to acknowledge. Some are in hospitals. The author doesn't shy away from the fact that there is real suffering in the world. The text notes that the Lord knows the complex reasons why some people are hospitalized and facing severe trials. But the author's direct message to you, the reader, is this. If you are not currently in that situation, you must recognize that reality. You absolutely shouldn't take your current health and freedom for granted.
And that leads right into this incredibly simple, but honestly monumental point. You woke up. The author brings the energy to a very raw, stripped-down place here. Just the sheer miracle of waking up today, while, as the text bluntly states, others are dying. If we put it back in the context of our daily app reset, your body, your consciousness, your life experience its own midnight reset. You were given another day. The source argues that this alone is absolute proof of that daily faithfulness we were just talking about. Which culminates in this final, completely unvarnished truth from the source. You are not dead. The author uses this stark fact to cement the absolute need for gratitude. They ask, how can you be alive, breathing, and completely conscious right now, and yet still think that you haven't been taken care of today? It is a powerful call to strip away all our complex modern complaints and focus entirely on the foundational gift of simply existing for another day.
Okay, so let's break down exactly why the author says we so desperately rely on these new morning mercies. First up, there are ways in our lives we simply do not know. We are totally blind to the future. Second, we often go astray. The author openly admits human imperfection here. We make mistakes every day. And third, it is the divine that leads us into righteousness for his name's sake. We need the daily reset because we deplete our own resources. Just like the app user running out of their 3 chances, we run out of perfection. We desperately need the system to mercifully reset for us. The author wraps up this whole reflection with a call to action. They invite us to spend time today praising and honoring the Creator, reminding us that He is the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, the ruler of the whole universe. He's our boss. It's such a fascinating conclusion, bringing our modern workplace terminology like calling the ruler of the universe our boss into this ancient cosmic framework. The source is asking us to recognize the ultimate programmer behind the daily resets of our lives. So the next time you're staring at your screen and your favorite app resets at midnight, will it remind you of the daily renewal in your own life? Thanks for exploring this explainer with me today. Keep looking for the remarkable